Well, we're here with the Season 2 remake, Dawn of Corruption Part 2, sorry. I nearly said Part 3 there. Yeah, I quite like this one. We're jumping straight in from the ending of Dawn of Corruption Part 1 here. Apart from this scene is actually slightly different. The ending's different to this scene. So rather than just kind of fading into space and away from Megatron, we actually get extended dialogue in this scene with Starscream where he's kind of like bowing down like, "As you command, my leader," and then we zoom into the computer that focuses on Earth, and that's how we start the next scene. This is a bit of a prelude to what's to come. The Waking Fallen. Does it mean the Fallens in Megatron's Prime, or does it mean the Fallen as in zombies, Terracons? Both, really. And again, this sending Bone Crusher, the show of strength to the world from Megatron. And one thing I want to say as well is, between Dawn of Corruption Part 1 and 2 becomes the Expanded Universe New Recruit that explains how Sideswipe got to Earth, although I haven't made that as of recording this right now. So stay tuned for that. I do love how I introduced Sideswipe, just kind of rolling up to the base. His first task on Earth and it's failed. I do like how I've done Sideswipe, because it's not like... He's a bit of a badass, like he's in the films, but he's young and naive. And especially as you see in the story progressing, both Sideswipe and Bumblebee, they both go from these young, almost like both scouts almost, to quite a strong character, quite a strong male presence. Not like a massive overpowering like Optimus or Ultra Magnus, but they're both independent, and they both really grow into a strong character.
After Optimus took a beating. If you two put as much work into fighting the Decepticons as well as you do fighting each other.
This scene originally was going to be very different. So originally, instead of Ultra Magnus coming in, Optimus was going to be in the scene, and he was basically going to start throwing a tantrum because he'd basically been beaten up by Megatron. All their defences, such as the Energon grid and their detectors, had all gone down. Earth had been attacked. They'd lost Jazz, and they were just at a low point. And originally, it was just going to be Optimus throwing a massive tantrum, just shouting at everyone, like punching a wall. I mean, keep in mind when I wrote this, I was very young, so it's extremely out of character for Optimus, and even my younger self, thought maybe that's not such a good idea. And I'm glad I didn't go that path. I'm glad. And this is the definitive version of Part 2, so I did the original version and then I redubbed it this way. I'm not sure if I redubbed it once or twice, but I'm really happy with Dawn of Corruption Part 2. And here we got Bone Crusher speaking Cybertronian. And just throwing, I don't remember if that was meant to be a villager. You just got a villager in army uniform.
Sure you're fit for this mission. Your injuries may still be recovering.
And this is, of course, a recall to Megatron beating Optimus up. Very fast healing to say it only happened about half a day ago. And the thing is, like, whenever the Decepticon detectors, they always send in multiple Autobots. Like, for this, you've got Sideswipe, Ironhide, and Optimus. It's a lot like police. When you see the police arrest someone, and you see about 3 or 4 on one person, and that's literally because one person can be a massive handful. Like, you might think, oh, I'm pretty strong, but trust me, when you get in a physical fight with someone, you'll be surprised how strong people are. And sometimes it takes 3, 4, sometimes even it takes 10 people to pin one person down. And that's a lot of the reason why Autobots go in groups to take a single con down. And even when you've got like a massive Decepticon like in Revenge of the Fallen, like Demolisher, you know, imagine trying to take them down. And of course that glow in there, not the mouth but the bit on the chest, that's meant to be like the inside, like the Energon spilling out as he glitches out and dies. And yeah, basically Bone Crusher kind of just let himself die due to his injuries, because one alternative is he gets captured by the Autobots, which will bring shame upon him, or two, if he escapes and returns to Megatron injured, almost dead, and failed the mission, then he's going to get killed by Megatron, because basically Megatron is just, as I said in the first part, he's basically insane now. And hear what I said about Starcade in the last part, how Starcade isn't afraid of authority. You'll see it here where Megatron literally just gets mad and Starcade's like, oh, don't blame me, it's not my fault. You know, maybe if you went in missions, we'd have bigger success rate. You know, Starcade literally just does not care. Here.
Maybe if you'd stop sending weaker soldiers into battle and actually got off your own tin can and did things yourself, then maybe we'd be more successful than we currently are.
Next time.
And of course, obviously, I'm not going to, but if I ever did like redub this or remake this, I would do it more realistic. So obviously, like there are some lines, especially what I deliver when I was a bit younger, that I would change the delivery of and make it sound a lot better. But you get the general gist of what this story is going for, and I think that's why I really do like this episode, because it gets straight into it. And there's Shockwave. So basically what happened was, you'll see it in future stories in Expand Universes, but something happens to the Nemesis, and the Fallen and Shockwave are both in the Nemesis when it crashes, and they both go into stasis mode basically. I found it funny in this episode though how Shockwave now is is active again. He just doesn't talk. He's just silent, and then like a couple scenes later, he just starts talking and does not shut up. He just starts talking out of nowhere. I think I did a good job of condensing season 2 into a 17-minute, I mean, excluding credits, maybe 15, 16 minutes. But essentially, it was like, I think, over an hour and a half, 2 hours series. And I just took the main bits of story, even side stories, and I just somehow condensed it all into Dawn of Corruption Part 1, 2, and 3. And it just worked. Just in the nick of time, Ratchet. And of course, sideswiped with Optimus here, so he's kind of like learning the base. You know, Optimus. He's kind of like tutoring him a little bit, like just showing him a little, showing him around. Yeah, kind of taking a bit of responsibility for him. And yeah, because of the energy detectors kind of just going down in the first part, they don't really see them coming until it's too late. Optimus is just on the floor. I do like that shot actually, just nicely just kicks him straight in the face and knocks him out. And then they just kind of walk off. See what I mean? Shockwave just doesn't talk. He just doesn't talk at all. And then in one of the upcoming scenes, it's just like, "Hey, I'm talking now." This shot I really am still kind of proud of coming up, where Starscream flies in. It's so simple how I did it, but I think it actually holds up. So even Decepticons are basically low on Energon as well.
Lord Megatron, Starscream returns.
There we go.
Why is it that my great loyal Decepticons always fail, yet he succeeds?
Well now.
We get it. Megatron, ready. Eject Laserbeak.
You know, now I think about it, how does Laserbeak, that massive bird, fit in Soundwave's chest? Because Soundwave's chest is tiny. Maybe mass shifting. Mass shifting probably, yeah, makes sense.
My Dark Energon will revive my former teacher, and he will teach me to master Dark Energon. Once we're done with him, he won't be able to match my strength. Everyone clear? Excellent. Well done. Boosted.
And yeah, here we go with the Fallen's revival. He's no longer fallen. This comment coming up.
Megatron, it has been a while since I saw you. What happened?
The original dub of this were just a bit odd. Go watch the original dub and just look at Starscream's comment when the Fallen gets revived. It's just, yeah. Yeah, this was taking an inspiration from Transformers Prime, the Cordial Psychic Patch.
Everything you do is ruined.
And basically Starscream literally scanning Teletron 1 scans the virus and uploads the virus into his mind. And when Megatron kind of hits him, it kind of like triggers it a little bit more. You know, imagine like you've got like a headache or something, and then someone comes and hits you. It just makes it worse, and that's basically what happened. So Starscream had this virus, and then as soon as it hit him in the head, he gets knocked out of it. And there we go with Shockwave talking.
Lord Megatron, the data gathered from the scan.
In the original dub as well, that line of Shockwave's extended, so he goes like, "This is bad. You said he scanned the computer." And then I kind of realised, like, hang on, why is he asking if Starscream scanned the computer when Shockwave was actually with Starscream when he scanned him? It's kind of like, just, are you doing something with someone and then observing them doing it and then literally like 10 minutes later being like, did he actually do that? Like, you weren't really paying attention to what they were doing. Shockwave was just kind of strolling around the Autobot base, not giving a care in the world. In the original series as well, there is more time with the Fallen and Shockwave, because in this you've got to kind of imagine just some of a time passage sometimes, whether it's a few hours or whatever, but just how the Fallen and Shockwave come back online, and then immediately the Fallen's going into Starscream's mind with Megatron. Whereas in the original series, like I said, it's much more drawn out, so the Fallen, if I remember correctly, is actually active for quite a while before actually needing to do anything. Whereas this is just kind of thrown into it.
Shockwave said, let's plant this antivirus and get out of
Originally I was going to do something like, in Starscream's mind, kind of like bits of Megatron, like images of Megatron that Starscream's basically destroyed. So there might be like Megatron figures lying around his mind, just all dead and like beaten up by Starscream. And Megatron can like see all his beat up, Starscream's visions of him being beat up, and he's just kind of disgusted that Starscream thinks he could take Megatron on.
You need to never try to overthrow me again.
Yes.
That's kind of like Starscream talking through his mind. I really liked how I did it in the original series, actually. If you go back and watch the episode, I'll leave a link in the top right corner of this video, but if you go back and watch the original episode of Starscream's mind, there's like Hatchet running around, there's other stuff as well, like he's just a bit wild. Where this is just kind of like random
Time has come.
figures.
Let's finish Optimus.
And yeah, Megatron just kind of just randomly decides, you know what, let's go back and have another go. And all the Autobots are still knocked out from that EMP.
All units report to their stations immediately.
This is a bit where it picks up now. I've always been a fan of this fight. Optimus is just kind of basically ignoring what I said at the start of the episode when it's like you send 2 3 Autobots to deal with 1 Decepticon. Like we've got Megatron, Starscream, the Fallen, Brawl, Viacons, and Optimus just like, I'll take them all on myself. Because in Optimus's mind, he'd rather distract the Decepticons and let more Autobots help more humans get out the base, rather than
I'll lay down some cover for you all to get to.
everyone fight the Decepticons, create a bigger mess, and then basically, you know, some humans might still be trapped in the base.
There's too much firepower outside to face them head on.
Right now, there's more humans.
I think this line was actually added on to this redubbed definitive version because
You all see to the human evacuation. While I'm
I think it was more extended because on the original one I don't think it was.
I don't like this, Prime. But we'll link back up with you.
I didn't feel like it added enough clarity on why Optimus were just taking everyone on by himself.
Lord Megatron, allow me to go in there myself and blow each and every one of those Autobots to scrap.
Straight in the head. Point of view there. And then just kind of jumps on Megatron. This upcoming shot here is meant to be in slow motion, by the way, so it's like Optimus kind of like assessing what options it's got. Like, do I go for the head? Do I go for the arm? Do I go for the leg? And it kind of just like split decision moment. Like, what do I go for? And he just goes straight for the arm. That shot took me ages to get right. I remember doing that and it took me ages.
offer you mercy. Leave Earth and never return.
I'll never surrender to you, Optimus Prime. You'll have to kill me.
And Optimus's moment of truth, do they kill or do they take them prisoner or do they let them go? And then, there you go.
Yet again.
What I tried to get with Lockdown is, he'll get the job done no matter what. So we saw him in part 1 quite a lot, and this one it's kind of like, where's he gone? And he's actually kind of in the background a bit, like, you know, saving the Fallen, saving Megatron, the Starscream, Brawl, the Viacons,
Until next time.
you know, by being strategic, not taking up, you know, he kind of like looked like, oh well, Optimus is taking them all on by himself, I'm not going to get in the middle of that and end up on the floor myself. So he kind of like just stunned him from behind. Very tactical, Lockdown, very tactical.
You all right, Optimus?
Here we go with a heroic speech. I know we did like the Forward into Dawn track that I added onto that scene. I forgot its name now, but I always did like that.
I and Hyde make sure the base is safe before moving the humans back in. We will repair the base and shall repair ourselves. I am Optimus Prime. And
As the
will
music
protect
comes back in.
the war is almost over. And I am protecting Earth, no matter the cost.
I can never decide which one I like most, part 1 or part 2. Because part 1's got so many like nostalgic moments for me, and it's just, yeah, I do like part 1, but then part 2 is just like, it gets straight into it so quick. And it's just a different story. Like, you'd never have Megatron and Fallen going into, you know, Starscream's mind. Those stories that happen in these, obviously, they're all taken from my original series. So if I never did that original series, this Dawn of Corruption, this story would not exist. Probably not, no. But, you know, it's not a story that I would tell necessarily. Like I said, if I didn't make the original series, this story wouldn't exist. So, because I've made those stories, it's given me a chance to really make a bit of a unique story, really. I like it. I do. And Dawn of Corruption Part 3, I haven't seen that in a while, so that's going to be the next upcoming commentary from me. But it's going to be interesting watching Dawn of Corruption Part 3 back, because there's bits of it I remember, and there's bits of it that I don't completely remember. I know there's 3 main stories to it. There's a beginning, which is like the first third of season 3, and then there's like this big bit in the middle surrounding Breakaway becoming like into his prime youth, and then it kind of just skips right to the end of the last third of season 3, where I'm not going to spoil it, but it's a massive big development in the story, and essentially it does have those big 3 sections, the beginning, middle, end. But yeah, and you know, finishing this Dawn of Corruption trilogy, it was a weight off my shoulders, because basically I made them, and every time when I made it, I kept thinking, oh, I can do better audio-wise, I can do better production-wise, and I kept trying to remake it, and it just didn't seem to, be, you know, it didn't feel right every time I made it, so I kept redubbing it, and whether that was a right decision or wrong, I feel it's right, because it's led me on the path I am now. I didn't want to make new projects, knowing that there were mistakes in Dawn of Corruption Part 1 and 2 that I could fix. Because if I could fix them, I could become aware of future projects, you know, stuff, what to do or what not to do. The mistakes I made in Dawn of Corruption have prevented me from making the same mistakes in The End of Days, and that has made that much more enjoyable to watch. So, yeah. I mean, if you guys want an actual commentary on The End of Days, because I probably will do that actually, please comment below. I did do one with a cast where we rewatched it and we all spoke. But if you'd like a director's commentary, you know, just me, please let me know. And also, like I said, next episode is Dawn of Corruption Part 3. But would you also like a separate Dawn of Corruption Part 3 video, the original script for Dawn of Corruption Part 3? I might have to do a little bit of digging, but I vaguely remember the original Dawn of Corruption Part 3 story. It was completely different, and I'm not talking about like 1 or 2 little scene changes. I mean the whole story of Dawn of Corruption Part 3 originally was completely different. If you guys would like a video on that, me talking about the original story compared to what it is, please comment below. Anyway, you have yourself a good day. Please like, comment, rate, share, subscribe. Follow and join the Discord in the description below. Follow me on Instagram at TFan5000. Please share this video with friends, family, anyone who enjoys Transformers, or if they're a filmmaker themselves and enjoy listening to director's commentary, please share. Other than that, till all are one, transform and roll out.